More bad news for Under Armour. Teens have moved on. An analyst has become more downbeat on Under Armour's stock given changing youth preferences. Now, this is a headline I grabbed today to talk about because I think it relates to every business no matter where you are, whether you're doing really well, whether you're not doing really well. It comes down to knowing your customer, and your ability to know your customer means that you're creating an amazing customer experience. Based on that customer experience, you're able to create value, and that value is what people pay for. That shows up in our financial statements, and it's called margin. The bigger your margins are, the more value your business is bringing to the marketplace based on people wanting to pay for that value. And so when I read this headline about Under Armour, it caught my attention because I think a lot of businesses are going through this change. I think it happens all the time, whether you run a small business or a large business. The customers that you were serving 5 years ago may not be the customers that you're going to serve 5 years from now. And it's always changing. So the real question is, how do you figure it out? How do you know who your customers are? When you began your business, you probably took any customer you could find to pay for the bills and keep the lights on. Or maybe you were really great right out of the gate, understanding who your customer is, what value you were giving them, and why they were paying for it. But that's not usually how businesses come about. Usually you stumble through figuring out who your customer base is, and at the first sign of stability, then you really want to double down, triple down, and understand who that customer is so that you can become a leader in that niche. A marketplace can be really crowded. Under Armour there's technically nothing special about Under Armour if you just think about the category that they're in. They're in the sports apparel wear business, so they compete with a lot of other big brands. But even if you're in a marketplace or in a category where there's a lot of brands or there's a lot of competition, it doesn't preclude you or it doesn't stop you from defining who's the customer that we are serving. Is it based on gender? Is it based on interest? Is it based on expectation? Is it based on the problem that we're solving? And then how do we absolutely find every single customer in that niche so that we can lead the niche? Because as you've heard me say before, if you're not leading the niche that you're in, then chances are you're following behind the leader. And if you're following behind the leader, then guaranteed your business is not as profitable as it could be, because your margins are probably being squeezed because everybody else is trying to deliver the same product or service at roughly the same price. And the market leader is the one commanding the bigger margin because they are the leader. They're doing something different to attract the lion's share of the marketplace. So Under Armour, basically it was the stock analyst that had just talked about her belief that younger consumers are interested in more up-and-coming apparel companies and not so interested in kind of old guard companies like Nike and Under Armour. And I don't know whether I believe that or not. I mean, I have a pile of kids at home. And my I have two older boys, teenage boys, and Under Armour, they are actually kind of selective about the brands that they pick. My oldest son in particular is a big Under Armour fan. He likes the quality of their clothes, he likes the way they look, and so I'm not sure I agree with this analyst. And so picking this headline today to expound upon wasn't so much because I'm an Under Armour expert as much as it was to help you, if you're running a small or medium-sized business, understand that even if you're Under Armour, you still got to know who your customer is. You still have to be able to define them really, really well, and then build your entire customer experience around that customer so that you're the leader in providing the product or the service that your business provides to that market, so you can lead it, you can dominate it, and ultimately you can be generating the largest margins from those customers compared to the rest of the marketplace. So hopefully that gives you something to think about today. If you're trying to figure out how do I grow my business or how do I fix my business, a lot of times you can stop for a minute and do a little bit of work to understand who your customer is. And it's such an overused statement, but it really does ring true. When you look at the best companies in the world that you want to model yourself after from a business model perspective, what you'll find with every single one of them is they understand their customer. And not only do they understand their customer, they're able to deliver customers value that customers are prepared to pay for, and they generate the best margins in their marketplace for that experience and that value. So anyway, get to work, make that happen in your business. Thanks for watching. If you're on the podcast, thanks for listening. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, make sure to send a review, because when you do that, other entrepreneurs are able to get this content and hopefully they can figure out how to use it to help grow their business or fix their business if that's what they're looking for. So thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next episode.